Hi, my name's Joe Brewer, and I'd like to talk with you for a moment about the power of design for solving the world's most difficult problems. Now, it's commonly thought that design is something that applies to making cute trinkets or to making pretty pictures or to making products that work in a certain way. What I want to do is suggest that design is something much deeper than that. See, design is a process through which one establishes the criteria for a certain system to work in a particular way. So, for example, we have a global financial system designed specifically to work a certain way, principally to take the aggregation of capital or money and use it to leverage that capital to generate more capital or more money. And that is something that is set by design to make the priority that money generation from money is the primary outcome for that whole system. Now, there's been a fair amount of recognition that perhaps this isn't the best way to design an economy, and that there might be better ways to think of what a financial system should do and how a financial system should be designed. And so, in this sense, the discussion of design isn't simply about aesthetics. It isn't simply about selling products. It's about identifying the deep underlying motivations for creating a set of human activities and for considering how the institutional structures, the procedures, the rules for that system should be set up to operate to achieve some goals or some outcomes that are deemed preferable over others. So when we're talking about designing a financial system, this is exactly what we're talking about. In a more general sense, when we consider that the most pressing challenges in the world, whether it's from climate change having potentially catastrophic effects for human civilization, or it's the depletion of vital resources that our entire economy depends upon, such as oil or the increasing scarcity of water, or rare earth metals that are used for making electronics, just as a couple of examples. That in considering these really challenging problems, the only way that we could envision a solution is to bring the methods of design to both critique what the nature of the problems are and where they come from, and also to inspire the kinds of solutions that are desirable. And we're already starting to see this. For example, to go back to the financial sector, there's been a growing recognition that finance is set up in a way that is oftentimes antithetical to democratic process, by which I mean that those who have money have undue or unfair influence over public systems, over government. And so those who don't have money, who don't have the ability to leverage aggregated capital for influencing political outcomes, they are at a distinct disadvantage. And so the creation of a financial system that's working, quote unquote, properly by the design criteria I mentioned earlier will lead to outcomes that are antithetical to democracy. So there's this discussion going on now about how a financial system can be designed to become more democratic. And one of the areas that's particularly interesting to look at is the intersection between small-scale financing, what's often called microfinancing, and what might also be called participatory finance, the most common version of that being crowdfunding, where a large number of people each contribute small amounts of money, but interact in a direct and active way with the way that the money is spent and with the activities that come out of the money that's aggregated by that process. So there's a kind of collaboration that happens. So in this sense, there are design criteria being explored to discover what they are and how they work that would promote a more interactive, democratic, and empowering approach to pooling and spending money, oftentimes with specific social goods, such as reducing poverty, increasing human well-being, or addressing environmental concerns, become the measures of success. So in situations like these, it becomes increasingly clear that considerations of design are at the center of the discussion. So anyone who wants to engage in solving the big problems is going to need to learn more about design and is going to act as a designer in considering what those webs of human activities and the systems, the kind of architecting of those systems are, where they're deficient, and what the motivations are to solve them. And this is something that I'm, of course, quite interested in seeing more of, and as a designer myself, seek to bring insights from cognitive science and earth system science, and from organizational strategy and social change to bear on global problems. But I'm by no means the only one doing this. There's an increasing number of people who recognize that many of the problems that we have in the world, whether ecological or social or political, economic, or what have you, are what might be considered to be symptoms of bad design, and that good design can help to solve them. So that's just a bit of thinking about how design can help solve global problems, and I hope that it encourages you to put on your design hat, roll up your sleeves, and get involved. Thank you.